So, yet another Raw's in the books, and the first thing that's coming to my mind is I want to talk about New Japan and PWG.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta wait until Wednesday to do that.
No.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm revealing it now. My father is delirious. It's more fucking shocking than what we got tonight.
Yeah. Not good.
They could have
Don't know
done
what's
something
going on.
interesting rather than one, go obvious, and two, split up the tag team that people wanted to see.
Well, to be
Once
fair,
again, this is Vince fucking up Paul's ideas on purpose.
right, and they haven't been doing anything with American Alpha on SmackDown, even though they're definitely the most decorated tag team on the brand.
To think this SummerSlam we could have actually had American Alpha versus New Day.
Yep.
Nope.
But now we're going to get a Chad Gable singles run.
And then he gets released.
I hope not.
Just like Jason Jordan will have a singles run. And then released.
We shall see what happens. But as always, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Welcome to another edition of the WWE Monday Night Raw Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. This is Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight we're going to discuss what happened on Raw tonight and the build to a pay-per-view that I completely forgot was even coming up.
Well, admittedly, that is tomorrow.
Yeah. And we'll be discussing that on the Wednesday show.
I could never be psyched for tomorrow because that means that we actually get the bloody Punjabi prison back.
I don't care whatsoever about this.
Is the correct answer.
By the way, on main event tonight, R-Truth over Kurt Hawkins and the Good Brothers over Rhino and Heath Slater.
So, literally, Emma did fuck all on her 5th anniversary.
Yep. No wonder she's upset on Twitter.
Christ.
Yes. Not been a good time lately.
This women's revolution is really good when it's just the same fuckers coming out every fucking week.
Yeah, I think I saw someone on Twitter that said something like, I hate the 4 horsewomen.
Which ones?
We'll get to that on Wednesday.
Yes.
We'll be talking Mae Young Classic results on Wednesday. Yep.
Sanity. The true sanity.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm more excited about Wednesday's show. I mean, let's get through Raw so we can have some fun on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I found out today, because of you, that Ring of Honor is doing an iPay-per-view the same day as TakeOver Brooklyn.
Yeah. So, you know how we say long weekend?
Oh my God, it's going to be even longer.
That's going to be terrible.
The only thing missing is us covering New Japan that weekend.
Well, thankfully they won't be doing that because obviously the New Japan guys are part of the Ring of Honor stuff.
Correct.
And also G1's the week before.
Also correct.
And Shikara and Bola are 2 weeks afterwards.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's another thing we're going to be talking tonight too.
Oh, I see what you did there, Night 2. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
We don't want to talk about Raw tonight.
Well, the great thing is, for at least one bit, we will be talking about Raw, but at the same time, we're going to talk about not Raw.
Yeah.
Thanks, Instagram.
Another feud that can't actually happen right now is going down, and I'm loving every second of it.
So Dean starts out with Steely Dan. I don't know whether it is the same chair as last week. It may be. Who knows? And basically, Dean says, we're here because of Miz. So they want him and the Miz Taraj to come out and keep on fighting like they did last week. And of course, there's no answer. And Dean's like, I'm not leaving until I get a fight. And then here comes Seth. And Seth is just like, you can't win a fight on your own. And, you said you fight your battles and I'll fight mine. And I think you came to help me last week. And Dean is just like, look, that wasn't the plan. In fact, there is no plans for me. It's all on the fly. But the important thing is, it's not about you. And Seth goes, I think it is. He disrespected me as well as you. Him and his cronies. The question is, though, are we against each other or are we going to be fighting side by side? More Shield teasers. And Dean goes, I think you mentioned, like, what we're going to do, brother, sort of thing. And Dean's like, you're no brother of mine. When we were the Shield, we were a brotherhood. But I haven't seen you change yet. You're a different Seth to what I knew ever since you smacked me in the back with that chair. And Seth rightfully goes, that was 3 years ago. I apologize. Can we put it past the past behind us? I don't hold you responsible for me losing my title when you cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on me. I've moved on. The question is, can you? And Dean's just like, well, I don't know what you said because I heard nothing. And Seth says, is like, well, I always known that actions speak louder than words. So he gives him the chair and goes, hit me. Get this distrust, get this hatred and everything out of your system. So then we can take out Miz together. And Dean's like, oh, and then throws the chair out the ring because he can't do it. And here comes Miz Taraj. I believe Maurice is dead. We can officially confirm that because she was not seen on the show entirely, from what I remember.
I think they're trying to move her away from the group.
Again.
Even though she's still in the graphic for next week's match.
She'll probably be there next week. She's probably filming something, probably.
Perhaps.
And Miz is like, oh, it's cute. You're trying to patch up your friendship. Seth, you're rubbish. Dean, you're rubbish. But considering how, you want us to fight, I thought I'd give you a welcoming party gift. So Axel and Dallas pull up the aprons and pull out chairs. And Miz grabs Steely Dan. And they overwhelm the two guys. Dean gets thrown to the steel steps. Seth gets a scroll-crushing finale onto a chair. And then Dean gets chaired in the back as well. I think that was an opening segment. After the commercial break, you see them basically just flee sort of out the building. Weird thing to do, considering how apparently they were standing tall and happy and the other guys were dead. The fact it was just like, yeah, let's get out of here. Continuity out the fucking window.
What else is new?
Well, the cards for Bowler got announced. Oh wait, that's Wednesday. I think this might be happening for every segment. I'm going to try and find some way to tease Wednesday.
I'm down with that.
So now it's time for Bayley versus Alexa Bliss again.
But it wasn't.
Well, it sort of was, because Nia came out and did some obviously swervy shenanigans and everything, and Sasha did get involved for sort of a save, even though it was sort of, I don't know if it was necessary.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah, the SummerSlam story continues apparently.
Yeah, Alexa loses, and Bayley now has another win under her belt, which means there's a good chance she's eating the pin at SummerSlam.
Because reasons.
No, because NXT.
Yeah, because Paul.
But for sake of argument, everyone in this storyline is NXT.
Well, because there's nobody else fucking left.
Nope.
Everybody's going to have to have come through NXT by now. The only one that hasn't is Mickie James, who's dead. Dana Brooks NXT. Emma's NXT.
Yep. Summer Rae's NXT.
Yeah. Paige is NXT. Who knows what's going on with that?
Yeah.
And hell, even on the other brand, everybody's NXT. Literally.
Yeah. This is true.
Apart from, I know. I guess Lana would technically be NXT because she's had training there.
Yep.
But she's the only one that's borderline, I would argue. Which is now why I fear for whoever gets signed up from the Mae Young Classic. And thank God Lady Tapas wasn't in the Mae Young Classic.
Nah, she just came and did a one shot, it looks like.
Yeah. Then they had something about the ESPY Awards, which is brilliant because I'm pretty sure WWE didn't give a shit about ESPN. That's why the angle finished in terms of ESPN covering their stuff, I thought. So Kurt's with Corey backstage because he's buggered off the announce table again. You know, Kurt's got second thoughts and Corey's just like, look, in the world of social media, it'll get out somehow. No, this was the theory that was proposed 2 years ago when he fucking debuted in the company.
Yep.
People decided to just run with it because reasons. So then we've got Titus Apollo piping up to Zawa. Well, basically Titus is hyping up both of them, saying Apollo will bounce back and Tozawa, you got a chance at the Cruiserweight title. And Daivari comes in and says, you know, those tactics you did against Neville were very dishonorable. I want to finish what we started last week. And Tozawa was like, all right. Now, does Daivari think Neville was dishonorable? Because he did the same thing? I want to know this continuity. We ain't getting that match yet, though, because it's time for Kendrick and Gulak versus Ali and Gallagher. I mean, I don't want to be harsh and say it was a match, but I sort of want to call it like I see it, as a match.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to it. Gallagher gets They get the heat on him pretty much the whole match. He gets the red card out of nowhere on Kendrick, tags in Ali. He hits the imploding 450 and gets the win. And by the way, no purple ropes.
Yeah.
That's done.
Did they have the purple ropes for the other one?
I don't recall. No purple ropes and no purple canvas either. So it was just a regular Raw match with the Cruiserweight logo.
I'm wondering whether they didn't bring the fucking tape.
It's awesome. It's possible.
Oh, that'll be brilliant. Let me have a quick check. Because hopefully... No. I'm seeing picture from 30 minutes ago. Davari and Tozawa. Red ropes.
Okay.
They've given up. They've given up.
I told you.
Shit. This is a good sign. He's killed off Talking Smack. He's killing off 205 Live.
It won't make it past the year.
At the rate we're going, it won't make it past this Tuesday. Final episode ever.
Yeah, it's going to go the way of the great movie ride and Ellen's Energy Adventure.
And what was the shit that was in Disney before it became the Guardians ride?
Well, in California, it'd be the Tower of Terror.
That's it. That one.
Thankfully, we still have it here.
So now it's time for Enzo. And says Newton's third law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And he's willing to do it despite knowing all the repercussions that he might get. You know, you win some, you lose some. But you've always got to fight for what you believe in. You know, Cass once believed in what they were fighting for. And Enzo believed it longer. You know, he trusted Cass because he thought Cass wanted to win. You know, that throw they did as a team. You know, the boom shakalaka drop, the NBA jam drop, who knows? You know, Cass would be the only one left standing. And a fat lot of good that did because they didn't win a damn thing. And then Enzo says how last week he was thrown 14 foot out the ring down to the ring floor. Cass thought he'd thrown him out the ring and out of his life, but you know, you knock him down 9 times, he'll get back up 10 times. And that's why Cass had to do what he didn't want to do and finish the fight at Great Balls of Fire. And then gets the guys in the back to roll the footage of last week with Cass and Big Show brawling. And Cass is just like, look, you may have a foot and over 100 pounds on me, but it shows you're equal, if not probably greater in size and greater in height, judging from what it looked like last week. And he's about to say that your boy is SAWFT. But Cass interrupts. In the graphic, which hopefully is the thumbnail for this thing, that just says big ass. Big ass. And Cass is just like, none of this would have happened if you hadn't stuck your nose in Corey. Which is an interesting little aside. And then it comes to the fact that I guess you didn't learn your lesson, Enzo. You want to fight? Let's go. And Enzo's like, oh, I'm all about wanting to fight. And then jumps the barrier into the crowd, grabs an Enzo kid. Not actually his kid, like a kid in his T-shirt and the stupid hair and everything.
Some random kid in the front row.
The merch. And says, oh, I've got you a fight sorted, no worries. Grabs a steel chair and whatever and says, you know, afterwards, I've got a question for you. Only 3 words. How you doing? And here comes Big Show. And this doesn't even become a match because Cass tries to cheap shot him as Show's on the apron, but Show stops it and they brawl back and forth. Pretty sort of like 50-50. And then just, I can't remember what it was that did it, but Cass just basically pounded on Show, just had the upper hand easy. And Enzo tried to run in to make the save and got big booted for his troubles. So the big ass is looking strong. Hashtag big ass. Because reasons.
Yeah.
So then Roman's backstage preparing, and Charlie asks him about his chances, saying, Joe's never beaten him. Or he's never beaten Joe, sorry. And Roman says, well, nobody thought I'd beat The Undertaker. Yeah, I have to keep bringing that back. Part of me feels that was somewhat of a mixed effect for Lesnar when he kept doing that segment, so I'm not sure whether they should keep pushing it down people's throats.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
So then Dean and Seth recovering backstage from the beating. Still not happy with each other, and Kurt comes in and says, look, I'm too busy to sort this tonight, but next week, how about you two versus two of the Miztourage stable? And Dean's just like, two? How about all three? And Seth's like, if you feel up for three, I might as well go up for three as well. So next week, it'll be Dean and Seth versus Miz, Dallas, and Axel in a 2-on-3 handicap match. And then, hello, I'm Elias Sampson. And the crowd are chanting, we want Balor, we want Balor. And rightfully, Sampson's going, I want him as much as you do, guys. And begins to start singing a song. Basically riding on Balor and also Nashville. And then Balor interrupts and the match happens. The interesting thing about this one is it was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
And then the I have to say confusing ending, because part of me is wondering whether the spot was intended, just not in that direct fashion as to how it happened.
Right. I can see where you're coming from there.
Do you want to describe it?
Yeah, I certainly will. So, I mean, we're going back and forth for quite a while. And Elias gets the heat on Balor outside the ring. So Balor fights back, and he hits the PK on the ring apron, and then Elias goes to the outside. Balor hits a baseball slide, and he hits a shotgun dropkick into the barricade. Elias has the guitar, and Balor charges in. Elias picks him up and El Kabongs him. But here's the thing. He hits him in... Well, Balor throws his arm up to cover the shot because who wants to get an unprotected shot to the head with a guitar, even a gimmicked one? And he ends up taking it in the shoulder, which is how Cole puts it over. But what happens is the side of it, the edge catches the forehead, like the side of his head, and busts his head open hard way.
Yeah, pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't Eddie Guerrero gushing.
It's pretty bad, though.
But there was a hefty chunk of color coming out. Let's black and white that footage because, apparently you're not allowed blood. Which is interesting considering the blood that I've seen in films that are certificate PG in the UK. Which would be the equivalent of PG-13, which, oh, look, is the rating that they're going for.
Makes sense.
Because of reasons. Because then after all this, Wyatt cuts in saying, this is what true agony and pain feels like. So part of me is like wondering whether this was pre-recorded or whether he just like added that in because of like this extent of the injury. It was actually done live. Because Bray's like, oh, I feed on that sort of thing. You know, you may be inspired by myths, Finn, but I'm no myth. I'm reality. You know, you're going to feel the true power of a god. And he cackles away. Basically.
Still building
So
his
that
SummerSlam program.
apparently, I
And
guess this
Balor,
means that the demon gimmick's probably coming back for SummerSlam.
I'd say so. And Balor is going to probably finish off his Elias Sampson feud right before it, too.
Hell, it might be finished next week. We'll get to that.
Yep.
Kurt's on the phone backstage, still ready for the announcement, and then Bailey and Sasha come in, wanting the shot at Alexa. Because Sasha's obviously saying, you know, I lost by count out, so I don't think it's fair. And Bailey's like, well, I've pinned her twice. And so Kurt goes, I don't fucking care. Both of you, one-on-one. Then we had the Revival asked backstage about why they attacked the Hardys, and they were just like, well, you know, we felt disrespected. It was like they didn't even know who we are. And, you know, it's the only thing that's sensible is sending the career of the Hardys and their legacy packing. Meanwhile,
Yes.
now
Instagram.
we start off on social media rather than actual just Instagram, because I need to bring this up because I'm pretty sure I retweeted it. So it should be on my account. Profile. Oh, I didn't. Okay. I'm trying to remember, was it Dawson?
So, yeah, there is. Like I said, we said earlier, when it comes down to it, they have been doing a little bit of messing around with everyone with pertaining to the Revival and the Young Bucks and the Elite in general, and everyone on being the Elite, because it's become a punchline if the Revival. So Dash Wilder took to Twitter and he basically said that he found a backpack and a used passport.
Got a used passport, an old backpack for sale, asking for $1,000 or best offer. Forever the Revival.
Yep.
The great thing is, it's worth noting that this tweet had a reply from a certain Flip Gordon saying, you owe me, hashtag harmless real.
Yeah, it's absolutely great.
Oh, and also, I've just noticed with Dash, they were replying to Kurt, the announcement I'm going to make will change my life and career forever. And Dash is like, is it the apology that you owe us? By the way, we actually did attack the Hardys. That should save some investigating. Oh!
That's great.
Oh.
So that's not the end of it. That's just the beginning. Because WWE
the Instagram. God damn it.
On Instagram, if you go to the Instagram of WWE, it's a picture of Dash and Dawson arriving to the building. They have the backpack. The passport falls out of the backpack. Scott Dawson puts it back in. And there's a guy holding a sign. Dash underlines 3 times with a marker. And then Dawson, scribbles through the bottom of it. And when the paper is revealed, it says Forever the Revival. Remember how I said a while back on this very show that they're all in on the rib? They're all in on the work here. And this is all just playful fun. I think this, more than anything, proves that.
Also, I partially think this is why Revival are going to be broken up in 3 months.
Yep, I can see that.
Because Vince doesn't like this shit.
Nope, he does not.
Hell, they might even break up before SummerSlam at this rate. You know, he's already getting fucking trigger happy. He's just cancelled Talking Smack for no obvious reason other than just like the Doctor Who haters out there. Apparently, he's got a problem with, actual progress. Which is irony, because Progress Wrestling must be shitting their pants now, because apparently he's got a problem with progress.
I don't know.
In fact, I'm even amazed that they've let Bobby Fish do the bloody What Culture stuff this weekend. Rather than stop it and go, no.
So you would think this would go into the match. It doesn't. It goes into a singles match with a
Red rope screws
against
away.
Mario Davari. Yeah.
Cesaro versus Davari. For what time it was given, it was decent. The really good bit, though, was the finish. Old school finish, because Titus, the manager, got on the apron and said to the referee, throw in the towel. It's all over.
Welcome, Pedro.
And the ref stops the fight and Davari wins. And Cesaro was just like, no, I want to keep going. And he's like, look, it's already happened. Davari speaking in Arab, dedicating it to an Iranian freestyle wrestling Olympic champion. And Titus is trying to explain it, and Akira's just storming up the ramp going, I don't quit. I never quit. I know we've already had one, but why the shit are we having another I Quit match at SummerSlam?
I don't even know anymore.
And it's time for Angle. And he wants to apologize for the past few months, saying it's been a bit shaky, and all actions have consequences, as proven by that 24 special last week. Which, by the way, watch it. It's really good. I already said that last week, I think, when I was watching it in the middle of this week's stuff. And says how he dated a girl in college who apparently got pregnant and had a kid. And the kid went into the adoption system. And this boy's followed his dreams. He's a multiple sport athlete and everything. He's pursued his quest to become a WWE star with great success so far, and then brings out his son, Jason Jordan. And they hug in the ring, and that's it. Just that's the big segment. Wow. What an actual letdown.
Yep. Anticlimactic for the win. Pedro says, my hands are up at this point with WWE. I thought apparently they stopped using pyro and fireworks because they've been hurting for money. So we're just going to get the old-fashioned right into the program.
Yeah, because they're just buying fucking everybody. Hell, the best bit is some of the people were saying, yo, what if Kurt Angle's son was CM Punk? Considering apparently how bloody desperate they are with him. Also, I do like the fact that everybody on social media is basically going, man, Kurt must like that black ass. And no, I don't mean what bloody Lorenzo Ball was saying.
Oh, no.
But it's like, just looking at social media, God bless Angle's willingness to do any stupid Vince McMahon thing that gets presented to him.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, we've got bloody is it Maori? The daytime chat show in America or whatever it is.
Maury Povich.
Maury. Everybody's got like tweets of Kurt Angle and him going, "You are the father." Like,
well, I saw a picture, and I honestly do not know what's going on with that, but apparently there was a time when American Alpha were working a match. Don't know exactly when or where. And there is a video that exists of a WWE.com exclusive of Jason Jordan's family in the front row.
Why the hell wasn't it Gable?
Yeah, because honestly, I don't know, because they both have upsides to being singles. I think Gable will be fine on SmackDown. I think Jordan's going to get lost in the shuffle on Raw. Who knows, though? If they're committed to pushing him, then maybe they will, but there's no point.
People using Kurt's line and adapting it, saying, you know how Jason Jordan was created? With a broken freaking condom.
Jeez.
Oh,
I'm honestly not surprised that it's coming out today.
Oh, it's just.
I mean, props to Jason George for doing something well. I mean, Pedro says, I was willing to see something make a go with this, and Vince had to pull his Russo twist on it. Jordan will fail like Darren Young with Bob Backlund. And we'll see.
Yeah.
Probably
I don't think
so.
it'll even be that. I think he's going to get fucking injured somewhere, and it's like, well, that storyline's gone.
Or something's going to happen to his legitimate father, which is another thing that was being said on Twitter.
I really hope somebody doesn't go like, you aren't his real dad, I'm going to kill you. Because they don't realize that wrestling isn't wrestling. I don't know. So at least we know what Renee's fucking doing. Her job is now to do interviews with bloody Jordan and Angle. Or is it Angle and Angle? Who the shit knows? So thank God we had Hardy versus Revival, because this was brilliant.
Excellent match.
Real good. Revival just doing it old school, like cutting off the ring and just beating down on Matt so Jeff couldn't make the hot tag. I think it was that, wasn't it?
Yep. Jeff finally gets in. He goes like a house of fire. He sets up Twist of Fate. Dawson grabs the hair. Dawson hits a right hand, knocks Matt off the ring apron. So Dawson gets pulled to the outside, jump with a roll up, gets a near fall, Twist of Fate, 1-2 dash, breaks up the pin. And Poetry in Motion to Dawson. Jeff goes up top, goes for the swanton, but Dash pulls the legs out. Roll up with Dawson with the tights, 1-2-3 to Revival win.
Very slow count though, which is the main issue that I have.
Yeah.
That ref was just like 1, 2. Did I count 3? Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Even the crowd was sort of like, okay. Because there was that pause where it's because from the angle it was like, well, he could have either seen that a shoulder was up or he could have seen the handful of tights pretty obviously from the angle he was at. So they didn't frame that as perfect as they could have done, which is a shame. Then, of course, we had Samajo cutting a promo with Charlie. Then they had a nice little Special Olympics video package for one of the guys who was actually there in the arena. And then Cesaro was not happy with Titus backstage, and Titus says, look, I did it protect you. I don't want you hurt anymore because I want to make sure you've got a career left here and hell, even a title run left in you. But if you knacker that shoulder, you're going to be done for. And Cesaro just says, I want Daivari tomorrow. So I guess that's another match on top of the 2 out of 3 falls with Gulak and Ali that's already set.
Yep.
Methinks. Speaking of that as well, next week on Raw, it's Balor, Sampson, no DQ. Bayley and Sasha to determine Alexa's contender. And the 2-on-3 handicap match with the Sword of Shield versus the Miztourage. And then also tomorrow for SmackDown, we got the Punjabi prison showing up because we needed that apparently. And is it Nakamura and Owens versus AJ and... Sorry, is it AJ and Nakamura versus Owens and Corbin?
That sounds correct.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
So then it's time for Roman. And then Samajo. The annoying thing about this is it was a good match. And it sort of got ruined by the fact that we have no winner because it's a no contest, I'm guessing, because Braun shows up. Which is annoying because these guys were having a very good match.
Right. And technically, he hit Roman first. So if you want to go with logic, Roman wins. But I think they're going to make it a no contest, which is what I predicted was going to happen anyway. Yeah, I mean, they have really good chemistry. I don't mind them working together at all. It looks like we're building towards another 4-way at SummerSlam with Brock and Braun.
I guess.
Because they can't get enough of their multi-people matches.
I'm just loving Total Biscuit tweeting his reaction to the thing, and it's just the bit from Seinfeld where he's just in the theater and he just puts his hands up and goes, "No," and then leaves. Like, yep. Yeah,
Down with that.
Pretty much.
Really not much we can say about this edition of Raw.
Yeah, 6 matches as well. It was like, is this a show before they actually do a grand trip abroad? No, this is just what they're doing because this is what happens when you've got 6 weeks to go to a bloody pay-per-view. Because just having a quick look as to, okay, so there's apparently a SummerSlam Heat Wave show happening in Fayetteville, North Carolina. There's 2 shows which are in Wildwood, New Jersey and Hampton, Virginia. The Raw guys, I'm guessing in Salisbury, Maryland. There's Battleground comes from Philly. And then Newark, Delaware, SmackDown crew goes on Monday. And then Monday itself, Raw's going to be in Washington, D.C. Wow. I guess that does make sense. It's not too far traveling, really. Also, I do like the fact that at least at the trending videos at the top, the ice cream bars is trending, and also RoboCop from the WCW. Hey, you clever bastards! You clever bastards! I love the fact that Battleground's going to be in Philly, but it's going to take Raw till the Monday after, 8 days after, for Raw to be in Pittsburgh. That partially don't make sense.
No, it really doesn't.
Oh, wow. Apparently Charlotte and Ty Dillinger are going to be in Voorhees, New Jersey. The day before CZW. And NXT new signing Leo Rush shows up. Wow. And then, of course, the first week in August properly is the doubleheader in Toronto, which could be interesting. So all that to possibly look forward to. Then again, maybe not. Then again, Wednesday.
All about Wednesday.
Yep. We got UFC.
Yep.
We've got the McGregor Mayweather stuff, including news that I sort of didn't see coming. That I only found out sort of, even though it's not confirmed yet, regarding that fight and the UK stuff. Your Lucha Underground, your Impact, your Ring of Honor, and that news, the PWG news, the New Japan G1, even though I could tell you now. WCPW. Those shows finally went up this weekend. We also have now brackets and cards revealed for pretty much all the tournament from what I remember. So that could get bloody ridiculous.
Indeed.
So we might have to do pick'ems for that. I've just realized as well, that is going to be the following weekend. Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, I believe.
Right.
So we may cover that live. Who knows? We'll have to see how it goes. How knackered we are after the SummerSlam coverage.
We shall see.
But yeah, so that the indie stuff, both from this past week and the upcoming weekend. And probably other stuff that I can't even think of right now.
All right. So that's going to be our show. Before we end, I'm going to end something that Pedro said in chat. He says, SummerSlam to big sweaty men slam.
Well, considering at the rate it's going, that we're going to be having multiple bloody women matches, that isn't true.
Fair point.
Then again, it looks like we're having. I think we might as well call SummerSlam Summer plus one, because that's what it seems to be. The more people on the show, the more people will go, where are the floating midgets?
Okay.
It makes sense when you don't think about it.
Okay. So that, like I said, that's going to be your show. It is now Tuesday, so join us tomorrow for, yes, the Wednesday Wrestling Podcast, where we're going to be talking all things professional wrestling. Ashley has been alluding to it all show. A lot of stuff to discuss, so that's going to be coming up on Wednesday. Sip and Snack returns on Thursday. Friday, Versus does return, and Saturday, yes, the long-awaited review of Dunkirk is coming here to the network, so yes. Ashley takes over Sunday and Monday, and back here next Monday for Raw. And of course, on Sunday night is the Battleground Popcast. So, and who knows? Maybe, just maybe, something quite groovy is going to be coming our way. Horror Nights fans, you never know. There might be something on the horizon that's a little bit evil, and or perhaps we're just going to play a game or two. I guess we're just going to have to find out sooner rather than later. So.
And all those ideas get thrown out the windows just so they can do a tribute to George Romero.
I'm telling you right now, I discussed it with Charles earlier today. I'm going to say it right now. Night of the Living Dead, Halloween Horror Nights 28. Mark my word. Night or Dawn. Dawn probably makes more sense, because you could use the shopping mall aesthetic, and that would work really well on the soundstage. So Dawn of the Dead next year at Halloween Horror Nights 28. Mark my words. So
technically, it should be Day of the Dead, because then you can just randomly have somebody shouting, "Choke on him!"
Oh boy. And of course, that's going to bring us into next week. We'll do more reviews. We've got Atomic Blonde coming, reviews coming to the network very soon. So a lot of cool stuff coming. So stay tuned for that. And Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter at Ash is my name UK.
Awesome. Follow the network on Twitter at Popcast Network. Check me out on Twitter if you so choose at Sero and Disney. Also, check out our Facebook fan page. I swear I'm going to update it eventually. It's Popcast Network on Facebook. And you can shoot me an email if you so choose, seroanddisney@gmail.com. So, in the meantime, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more this evening you have chosen a podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks, everyone, for listening. As of the 27th of July, head out to Hot Topic all over North America to get the restock of all the Bullet Club merchandise, all the shirts, as well as new shirts from Hangman Page, and strictly New Japan merchandise, LIJ, and a regular New Japan shirt, and a brand new Elite shirt that's exclusive to Hot Topic, and what it sounds like is not even going to be sold on Pro Wrestling Tees. So you're only going to be able to get it on Hot Topic. So go get your Bullet Club merch if you in the meantime. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Oh my God. I've just found out that Randy Orton's father is actually Randy Orton himself. Oh, wait, he is.
F the revival.